Hi, I'm Kara Williams. I'm here to present my speech on cheer and dance. Did you know that cheerleading is considered one of the most dangerous sports? Cheerleading and dance aren't just sports. They're sports that require true skill and are sometimes dangerous. You might be wondering, why do I care about this? Well, most junior highs, high schools, and even colleges have cheer squads, or maybe even dance teams. And a number of those team members started earlier in competitive cheerleading or at a dance studio. So, why should you listen to me about this subject? Well, because I began taking dance lessons at age 3, participated in competitive cheer from ages 4 to 8, picked back up dance at age 8 until this very day. I'm also going to be a Nimitz Junior High cheerleader next year. In this speech, you should expect to learn about the similarities and differences of cheerleading and dance, the dangers in these sports, and why people consider them sports. Now, let's start talking about cheer and dance. The similarities and differences of cheer and dance. In cheerleading, you have to have very sharp motions, but that's not necessarily the case in dance. You can have sharp motions in hip hop, but you can have smooth motions in ballet. Also, to be considered a great cheerleader, you almost always have to do some tumbling, but not necessarily in dancing. In dancing, you really have to have a great hand-eye coordination. In both of these sports, you have to have great facials, and you have to be in shape to get up on your jumps, your leaps, and your kicks. In both of these sports, you have to give it your all in your performance and at practice, because you practice, you perform what you practice. You have to have certain skills for cheerleading and dance, but they're also dangerous. The dangers of cheerleading and dance. In cheerleading, one of the most dangerous parts is stunts. Stunts are where people are putting other people in the air. Some stunts are very simple, but some stunts are very complicated and cannot stay up if everyone's not doing their job. And if everybody's not doing their job, the flyer will fall. And when the flyer falls, it could result in either injury or even death. There's also other injuries in cheerleading and dance. You should always stretch before you do any cheerleading or dancing, because you could pull a muscle. And in your jumps and leaps, you could land wrong, and that could result in an injury also. My last point I want to cover today is why people consider cheer and dancing a sport. In cheerleading and dancing, you go to competitions. Even though you're not physically competing against someone at the same time, you are competing just as much as any other sport. And cheerleaders and dancers put as much or even more into their routines as other athletes do in their game skills. I hope you know more about cheer and dance after this speech than you did before. I told you about the similarities and differences of cheer and dance. I informed you about the dangers and why people consider cheer and dance a sport. Cheer and dance is not just a sport. It's a sport that requires true skills and can be dangerous. I hope after hearing my speech, I have sparked the spirit inside of you for cheer and dance. Thank you. Oh, and my resources were also hub.com and livestrong.com. Thank you so much. Good night.